Okay, you move the choo-choo train. Good morning, book friends. It's Wednesday, and I'm starting this reading vlog. Hello, and welcome to another weekly reading vlog with me, Allie. And I am currently just hanging out in the floor with my infant, who is sometimes happy that he's in the floor playing with his toys and sometimes not. So we're just chilling here and letting him hang out. And then I have Oliver right over there, who's playing with toys also in the floor. And I am attempting to do a little bit of reading on my Kindle. I'm still reading The Haunting of Beatrix Green. It is The Haunting of Beatrix Green. And it says it's got like 3 different authors. It's actually kind of neat because it is a cereal box production. So it was written to be basically acted out like an old-time radio show. And you can tell that it's a little cheesy when you're reading it because it is basically written for voice actors. And it's a little over the top sometimes, the way that things are worded. But I think that would come across a little bit better as an acted out radio show. So if you haven't heard of Cereal Box, I'm not a sponsor or anything, but because I got this book, I looked it up to see what it was. And it's an app you can download, and you can actually listen to serials, kind of like podcasts. And you can listen to the first episode of anything for free, and then you just pay for like a whole entire season of something, and then you can listen to all of them.
Mama?
Yes.
Mama, I want to eat them.
You wanna go? He's gonna get them.
They're moving.
So they're all different costs. I think they range from like $1 to $20 or something like that, which honestly is not really something that I'm interested in because I just don't have the money to pay for that. So maybe if you enjoy buying audiobooks and you are interested in having more dramatized storytelling, then you might look into it because it seems pretty cool. But anyway, I say all that just to say that that is what this is. It is in series form, so each chapter is like an episode. So there are 9 episodes in this story, and I am on episode 3 currently. I'm hoping to try to get most of this knocked out today, maybe finish it tonight if I can, but maybe not. It seems a little bit longer than what I initially thought that it was, so maybe I'll finish it tomorrow. I'm also listening to The Turn of the Key by Ruth Ware. I have like 2 days left on my audiobook for that, which I also have the physical copy, so whenever I have a chance, sometimes I sit down and read a few pages, but mostly I'm just listening to it. And I really like the voice actor. She does great voices, great accents for the characters, and so I really enjoy that. It's really fun to listen to, and it's very engaging. I like the story just right off the bat, just kind of captures you, and especially since it's like this girl is writing letters from being in prison for a murder that she says that she hasn't committed, and then you're backtracking to see what her story was and what happened and whether or not the house is haunted that she was staying at, where she was nannying. So anyway, very interesting story, and I think that I'm really going to like it. I have heard negative reviews on like the last 2 pages of the book. Like most people say that they love the book up until the last 2 pages. So I'm really hoping that that's not the case for me. I'm hoping that I enjoy it all the way through, but I guess I'll see how it ends and we'll go from there. Really, I don't know what else to say about it. I'm really tired, so words that come out of my mouth may not make sense. But Simon didn't sleep again last night. He's cutting teeth. I've already said that in another video, but he's cutting teeth, so he's not been sleeping well at night, and I'm up basically every hour through the night. So my brain's just kind of not fully functional today. So if I'm not making much sense, I apologize. But anyway, my reading plans for this week are to finish The Turn of the Key by Ruth Ware, to finish The Haunting of Beatrix Green and to also finish Home Before Dark. And then I want to start one of the other books that's on my TBR. I really want to start Mistborn. I have a mind to actually read a couple chapters of that at some point this weekend. Maybe. Just kind of seeing. I don't know. I'm excited about a few different books. And so I'm trying to decide which one I'm going to jump into next. But I definitely want to get finished with these 3 that I'm working on. That way I can start something new, and maybe I'll start a contemporary romance, because I have like 2 of those, I think, on my TBR. But I'm in the mood for something kind of light and fluffy too, so I might jump over to something like that after I finish these thrillers. But I'm having a blast reading these thrillers. I love thrillers, and apparently I love them more than I even realized, because I never read thrillers up until this year. I started reading thrillers this year, and I think I had only ever read 1 or 2 in the past, because I mostly just read like fantasy stuff. And I've been branching out this year, and I'm proud of myself for getting out of my comfort zone and finding some new genres that I'm actually really interested in. So I guess I will check back in with you guys tonight if I have the time, because I already have dinner cooking. I made a stew, and it's just on the stove, so I don't have to worry about it anymore. And I'm going to hopefully do some reading and check back in a little while. If not tonight, then definitely tomorrow. So I'll see you guys again soon.
About to leave, already packing. Come with me, I'm not really asking. We'll get away to a place where we don't know. About to see the world in action, what we can be, life with no distractions. We'll get away, this is what we waited for. Take my hand, we'll make it somehow. We can't miss out. I'm done living life with the lights out, down with my own doubts. Be free with me. Be free. Be free with me. Be free. Not looking back, eyes on the freeway, Bonnie and Clyde, a classic cliche. We're on the run, this is what we waited for. Oh, yeah. Take my hand, we'll make it somehow. We can't miss out. I'm done living life with the lights out, down with my own doubts. Be free with me. Be free. Be free with me. Be free. Be free with me. Yeah, let's go. Be free with me. Oh, come on and let's go. Let's be free with me. Yeah, be free. Be free. Be free with me.
Life is a winding road, no telling where it goes. Driving through days and nights, won't stop for traffic lights. And I really wanna know if I will ever figure out where the road goes. Even if I'm falling down, I will keep on searching for my highs. You can say I lost my mind, I will keep on holding my head high, even if the sky is falling down.
Hey guys, I am just hanging out. It is, I should probably start with the day. Thursday. It's Thursday. And it has been a very uneventful day. I've been home with the children, and mostly I've had a pretty angry 2-year-old today, so I haven't done any filming until now. He actually just took a nap, so he's in a better mood. And I have been listening to my audiobook and reading majority of the day, and I'm reading The Turn of the Key by Ruth Ware. This book is so good. I was at like 18% this morning, and now I'm at about, well, according to the audiobook, like 80%, but I'm on page 268 out of 330 pages. So I'm almost finished. I probably am going to sit and finish this tonight because it's just so good, and I want to know what happens. Oh my goodness, this is so well written. The characters are so rich, and the backstory of this house is just, it just sucked me in, and now I just need to know. I need to know what's going on with the backstory of this house because I have some suspicions, and I need to know if I'm correct. And also, these children, like, 1 second, it's like, you just can't stand them, and then the next second, it's like, oh, but they're just children, and they're so cute. Seriously, if you like thrillers and you haven't read this book, man, I highly recommend it. It's so good. And the first part of it is just a little slow, just because you're kind of building up to her going to the house, but like once she gets to the house, oh my goodness, it's one of these books that you just want to binge read in as few sittings as you can. So I'm going to finish this tonight, and I may not check back in tonight, just depending on the children, but I will check back in the morning and let you know how I feel about this, and then over the weekend, I'm going to finish Home Before Dark. So those are the plans. Also, The Haunting of Beatrix Green, I didn't pick that back up. I read a little bit more yesterday, but I didn't pick it back up today because I picked this up and just started listening to it, and haven't been able to put this down because, quite frankly, it's incredible. And I'm loving it. So, I'll check back in later, guys.
Jumping from cliffs so high, trusting our wings to fly. Sometimes we're crashing down, but we get up and start from the ground. And I really wanna know if I will ever figure out where the road goes. Even if I'm falling down, I will keep on.
Hey, hi, and hello. It is Friday, and I didn't sleep again last night. Not really sure what's going on. My infant has just decided that sleeping is not something he likes doing anymore. So we're generally just up all night and all day. And if I could figure out how to tap into some of that energy that he seems to have, regardless of getting zero sleep, I would definitely do, like, without caffeine too. How do they do it? How do children do it? They just have like an unlimited source of energy within them, and I don't get it. I don't understand it. I'm so tired. So, on that note, if I ramble, I apologize. It's probably going to happen because I'm tired and my brain's not computing very well. I have taken a break from my house. My mother came over to watch my little ones for an hour or two so that I could take a break because I'm tired. I need a break. 3 children all day, every day, with no sleep for a week. Whew, it will take a toll on your brain, for sure. So, I finished The Turn of the Key last night. I loved this. This book is so good. Oh my goodness, guys. I was very taken aback. It had a couple of turns in it, twists that I wasn't expecting. And I had some ideas of where I thought that the plot was going, and I was actually surprised at some of the things that happened that I wasn't expecting. So I still have questions because there were some things about the past of the house that are just, they're kind of left hanging. And it's not in a bad way. It's not in a way that you don't get a satisfying ending from the book, but it's just in a way that just is mysterious. And I like that. I like that the book had some gothic feeling to it, and it has... There are things I want to say, but I can't say because I really don't want to give you guys any spoilers, because if you haven't read this book, you need to read this book. If you like thrillers, you should do yourself a favor and read this. This is so good. And like I was saying yesterday, it's got like just a little bit of a slow start because it's talking about like her getting the job at first, and that's just a little slow, but not in a boring way. It's just, it takes a little bit of building, and I'm okay with that. I like the building. And then once you actually get to the house and the children and the creepy backstory of the house, oh my goodness, this book is so good. I could not put this down yesterday. And honestly, I thought that the ending was satisfying. I know a lot of people have problems with the ending, and I think that I can understand the issues that people have with the ending of this book. I think that it was rushed. I do agree with that. I think that it could have benefited from being fleshed out a little bit more and actually maybe like played out completely, because the end of the book ends with a letter, and I feel like that letter sums up everything, but it was just all at once, and it should have been maybe explained a little bit more. I don't know. It has a very neatly tied up ending, and I did like that. I liked the way that she ended it because I felt like it ties back to the middle of the story really well, and it makes sense the way that it ended, but at the same time, I have some questions. I definitely have some questions about, like, how that it happened that way, because I don't... Alright, I'm gonna give a few spoilers from here. I will put a timestamp so that you can jump forward if you haven't read the book, and if you have read the book and you watch my spoilers, leave me a comment down below. Let's chat, because I want to chat about this book. So, I would like to know how an 8-year-old climbs out of a second-story window, up a slate roof that would be very slick, and then climbs into a window that was, like, most likely locked. How? How did an 8-year-old, for one, find a hidden attic that even during renovations the adults didn't find? Which I get, children find weird things. I get that, but how did an 8-year-old find a hidden attic unless there were ghosts? Unless there were ghosts. Unless there was legitimately a ghost that was pushing this child forward. And there are hints throughout that there was a ghost that was like possibly kind of controlling her. I love the fact that you have the duality of the nanny being possibly a little bit crazy, but also she tries to stay fairly level-headed throughout the whole thing. But then you also have these creepy little girls who say things and do things that are really weird, and I want to reread this because I feel like I want to see if it all pieces together the way that it seems to in the end. So like going back and reading for the little bits and pieces that you don't get at first because you don't know what's going on. So I'm going to reread this, and I'm going to reread this fairly soon because I don't want the details to slip away. And if you have read this and you would like to chat with me about it, please do so, because I have some more theories too on and the past. So anyway, moving on. Fantastic book. Definitely read this. Check it out. I look forward to reading some more of her books. I think I have 3 more at my house that I want to read. So I'm definitely going to be picking her up again soon. I very much enjoyed this. On to other things. I have a coffee that I'm very happy about because I need some caffeine. And I have started Mistborn. I am 30 pages into this. I got the audiobook from the library, and I also have the physical book that I'm reading. I like going back and forth between audio and physical. I think that it's a really great way to read whenever you're just, at home with children. And so you can go back and forth. Whenever you have a down minute, you can pick up the book and read for a little bit, or you can also just listen to it as well. So it helps a lot whenever you have your hands full to be able to put your book on and keep listening where you left off, and then pick the book back up and keep reading when you can. And I am really enjoying this so far. I'm really getting into the story. I really like Kelsier. I think that he's a really cool character, and I just really love Brandon Sanderson's writing, starting with Elantris and then coming to Mistborn. Like seeing how his writing changed and evolved from his very first novel to this novel, it's definitely a big change. Like, his writing did change a lot, and I really, really like it. It so far is very engaging, and I'm excited to get into it a little bit more. And while I'm here right now, I am going to keep reading Home Before Dark. I'm 100 pages in, and I am picking it back up today in hopes of having an hour or 2 to sit here and read another 100 or more pages. That's my goal. I would like to finish this weekend, and I think that I can do it, especially seeing as how I read like 380 pages. No, not 380. It was 280. Something like that. I don't know. Math is not a strong suit for me, especially not when I've had no sleep. That, you know what I mean. Anyway, I'm going to sit here and read Home Before Dark, and I will check back in before I leave the park and let you guys know how much I read, and also how I'm feeling about it, because I'm also really loving this book. And it's kind of cool because both of the books that I've read over the weekend are about haunted houses, and then also The Haunting of Beatrix Greene from the NetGalley book. It's also about a haunted house, and I want to finish it this weekend too, and I have high hopes. Like, I am hitting a reading high this weekend, and I am just gonna knock out all 3 of the thrillers that I've been reading. I have faith in myself, so here's to some more reading, guys.
Searching for my highs. You can say I lost my mind. I will keep on holding my head high, even if the sky is falling down. Even if the sky is falling down. Yeah.
Alright guys, I'm back, and I have been reading for a little while. I am on page 140 now, and it's getting really good. Like, the writing in this is just so interesting. I am very intrigued by what's going on, and I thought that I might be a little more creeped out than what I am, but I find that more than anything, I'm just inquisitive. Like, I'm really curious to know more about the house, and I'm really curious to know more about its past, and the chapters where the father is telling the past story of the actual book, those are really interesting, and then couple it with what's going on in the present with Maggie, and so like put them both together, and it just makes for a really compelling story. And it's one of those that, like, once you get into it and you get a rhythm, you don't really want to stop reading, and I really dig that. Like, I really enjoy a book that I pick it up and I'm so invested in it that I don't want to put it back down, because that makes for really fun reading time. And this just is so well written. It's so captivating, and it is reminding me a lot of The Haunting of Hill House, just kind of the way that the story is playing out. But at the same time, it's different. So I don't know. I just really liked The Haunting of Hill House, the way that the story was, and the way that it was changed from the original story, because I have read the book and I do love the book. And I feel like this has some allusions to it, like maybe Riley Sager was kind of playing on that idea for this book, which is kind of cool. But anyway, I just wanted to check in before I head back home and tell you guys that this book is fantastic, and I'm loving it, and I can't wait to read more, and I wish I had it on audio so that I could listen to it while I drive, because I don't want to get out of the story right now. I'm really enjoying it. But as it stands, I do have Mistborn on audio, so I'm going to listen to Mistborn on my drive home and enjoy the remaining 15 minutes of peace that I have on my drive home before I get home to my crazy children, which I miss. I do miss them whenever I'm away. So I'm definitely gonna be making pizza and having a movie night tonight, because that's our Friday night ritual. That's what we usually do. And I might film some more when I get home, and I might not. It just depends on how the kids are and how noisy it is, because it can be pretty crazy sometimes. So anyway, I'll talk to you guys later. Hey guys, it is Saturday and I am not at home. I didn't end up reading any last night because we had family night and we watched a movie, and I just focused on that. So I'm out and about today, and we are getting ice cream and coffee and gonna go to the bookstore, and I'm gonna do a little bit of reading in a little while. We may go to the park because it is such a beautiful day outside today, and I will be checking in periodically to let you see how the day's going. I'll catch up with you guys in a little while.
I watch you as you drive. Do you know I'm looking? And I can't help but smile. Do you know how much I love you? You put my favorite song on, I put my feet up, and we just sing along. And I can't help but feeling, just loving this moment. Can we stay here forever? I'm loving this moment. Can we stay here together? If I could stop the time, don't you know that I would? 'Cause I'm just loving this moment. Can we stay here forever? Forever. 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 I watch you as you sleep. You don't know I'm looking. With you everything's complete. Do you know how much I love you? I put your favorite song on just to wake you up. When I dance around, I can't help but feeling, I'm just loving this moment. Can we stay here forever? I'm loving I could stop the time, don't you know that I would? 'Cause I'm just loving this moment. Can we stay here forever? Forever. 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 I'm loving this moment. Can we stay here forever? I'm loving this moment. Can we stay here forever?
Hello friends, it's me and I'm back and I have a different color hair now. I finally got rid of the blonde that's just been hanging out for so long, and this color is absolutely stunning. I love it. It's so beautiful. A huge thank you to my friend Molly for doing such an amazing job on my hair. So, this week I didn't do exactly what I planned to do, but I still did a lot. I was able to read all of The Turn of the Key by Ruth Ware, and I've already talked about that, so I'm not going to talk about it again, but I loved that book. I thought it was fantastic, and I'm excited to read some more of her books because, honestly, I just really enjoyed her writing, and I was really absorbed into it, and so I'm excited to see more on her. I also have done a lot of reading on Home Before Dark, and I ended up getting 250 pages into it, and it's 330 pages, I think? No, 380 pages. So I will definitely be finishing this in the next day or so. I tried really hard to finish this yesterday. Today is Monday. Yesterday was Sunday. I tried really hard to finish it Sunday, but I just didn't have enough time. I read a lot, and I was able to knock out a big chunk of it, but I still think that that's awesome because I read a whole lot this weekend. So I don't even know what my actual page count ended up being for the whole week, but I finished all of The Turn of the Key, and I started on like page 18 at the beginning of the week, I think. And then in this book, I think I was only 20 pages into it, and I'm on 250 now. So I have knocked out a serious chunk of my books. I didn't read any more on The Haunting of Beatrix Green, but I did read about half of it, so I'll finish it in the next day or so. And I read 70 pages of Mistborn. I'm really enjoying this. I love Brandon Sanderson. I've read Elantris at the beginning of the year, and I'm now getting into this series. I've read several of his short stories and one novella, and I am now reading Mistborn, and it's so good, guys. I'm loving it. Which, if anybody else has read this, I would love to talk to you about it. I am not super far. 600 and something pages, I think maybe like 670 pages, and I'm almost 100 pages in, so that's really cool. I feel like this week has been a very productive week for me reading. Hey, I feel like it's been a super productive week for me. I'm going to finish Home Before Dark and The Haunting of Beatrix Green. I always want to say her name Bellatrix. That's just like what immediately comes to my brain whenever I think Beatrix, just out of habit, I guess, because of Harry Potter. So anyway, I will update you guys on my plans for next week in the next reading vlog, but I feel like I've had a super productive week this week, and I'm excited to keep up this momentum in November, and hopefully by the end of December I will hit 100 books on my goal for the year. So we'll see what happens. I'm excited anyway, and I think that's all that I have to say, guys. So until next time, I'll see you later.